All right, perfect. So good morning, everyone. Again, welcome to this space online. Today is Saturday, the 9th of April, 2022, and we are pleased to all be here in good health and able to attend this session. We are looking forward to a very exciting session with guests from EY, Ernst & Young, LLP. And this is the second of our sessions concerning the recruiting in the Big Four consulting firms. So we've done one before and it was quite exciting. So we're looking forward to an even better one today. And we're glad all of you have made it. So my name is Jerome Kimani. I am the president of ASA JKUAT and the curator of ThriveCon. And I am glad to start this session with you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to ask my fellow panelist to introduce herself before we get into the first session of the day. So yeah, Riziki, tell us who you are.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You can unmute and say good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you. Nice to see you here. All bright and early and ready to start. So I am Riziki. I am the president of JKUAT Toastmasters and a friend of Jerome, and in some ways a mentee of his. And I'm really excited to get to learn more about the recruiting process from experts in EY and get to exchange a few ideas and a few ideologies here and there. So thank you for coming, and let's make this session fun.
Right, thank you very much. So without further ado, we are going to start with our first session of the day. And to do so, we are going to ask our two panelists to introduce themselves, starting with Marceline, and then I'm going to ask Emmanuel as well to introduce himself. So Marceline, good morning, welcome to the session.
Thank you so much, Kimani. Good morning, all. My name is Marceline Ochola from EY Kenya, and I'm super glad to be part of this session today. And it's my pleasure to meet you all today. And I look forward to an interactive session and a fruitful discussion. Let's share and let's learn from one another. So Kimani, for the purpose of this presentation, I don't know whether you would want me just to go on to proceed with my presentation, because I prepared something for the purpose of the queries, the intended queries that you had shared with us via the in the agenda.
Maybe I can ask Emmanuel to introduce himself, then we can start with your presentation, if that's okay. All right. Morning, Emmanuel.
That's in order. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Jerome. Thank you, Marceline. My name is Emmanuel Alenga Makheti. I'm an assistant manager at EY Kenya office. Back to you, Jerome.
All right. I think, yeah, without further ado, I'm surprised actually, Marceline, you have a presentation. I'm really honored. You can go ahead. Would you need permissions to share your screen?
Sure, let me share share my screen.
Okay, let me make you the co-host, then you can go ahead.
Okay. Kimani, please confirm that you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. Yes, I can. I can now see it, yes.
Okay, great. Now I'm going to take the first chance to do a presentation, and my first slide is just a brief about myself. As you may be aware, I'm Marceline Ochola, a senior tax consultant at EY Kenya's tax practice, and with a specialty in the international tax and transaction services. I have 3 years of professional experience in the tax consultancy services, covering various sectors like financial sectors, manufacturing, telecommunication, hospitality. I hold a bachelor's degree, a Bachelor of Commerce degree, and a specialized in accounting from the University of Nairobi. I'm also a certified public accountant. So I started my career journey with EY. I joined EY as a tax intern in 2018, and later rejoined EY in March 2019 as a tax associate through the EY Tax Graduate Recruitment Program. After a successful probation period of 6 months, I was confirmed into to a permanent employee in September 2019. Reflecting today, as I reflect on my 3-year career journey with EY, I must say that my personal and professional growth has been hugely impacted, and of course positively, by the great experiences and opportunities that are currently, or rather that are available at EY. I'm indeed so happy and in love with what I'm currently doing. I like what I'm doing. I like the way I'm doing it. And I also like the pace at which I'm growing together with the firm. And as part of the professional and the personal growth that I'm talking about, I've been able to learn a lot through the clients that I'm working with, and through the teams that I've been working with. Have been able to be exposed to a lot, and at this juncture, I can only look forward to get more and more exposures, more and more growth with the firm. Well, maybe just to highlight to you some of my skills, or rather the professional skills and the experiences that I have so far. I have an experience in business tax advisory services, transfer pricing and international taxes, and of course cutting across the sectors, as I have already alluded to. I also have an experience in financial statement audit. You might be wondering how I came to get an experience with the audit. Now that I'd already mentioned to you that EY was my first employer. This is an area, or rather a very interesting area, and one of the key things, or rather one of the key successes, or rather achievements that I attribute to EY. EY granted me an opportunity to obtain audit experience in the EY audit service line, and I'm super excited about that experience and the skills that I gained, because in my current role, I can comfortably say that the audit skills that I obtained through the secondment by EY has really impacted on my work, has really improved the quality of work that I do, and I'll continue to be grateful for that. I'm also a key team player, and actually being a senior tax consultant, I've also had an opportunity to lead various teams in the various assignments that I do, such as tax compliance audits, tax health checks, tax advisory services, I'm also part of a team that is handling tax matters related to South Sudan market, as we will be able to share with you later and tell you, maybe inform you of our global presence and the services and the countries where EY has presence and provide services. You'll be able to understand that EY, that is the EY Kenya Nairobi office, also does provide access to other neighboring countries such as Ethiopia, such as South Sudan, such as Rwanda. And so I'm glad to be part of a team that is currently well equipped with the taxation laws of South Sudan. And in that regard, I help clients to comply with tax matters in that particular jurisdiction. And last but not least, about myself, there's so much, but I just decided to summarize. I'm also involved in the business development activities in the financial sector in EY. You'll note that maybe you might be wondering what this sector is all about. At EY, when you join, and by virtue of working for or rather serving various clients clients belong to the various sectors, and the EY clients are compartmentalized into sectors. So we have financial sector, which constitutes the banking sector. We have the insurance sector, cooperative sector. We also have telecommunication sector, manufacturing, agriculture. We have got many sectors. So when you join EY, and especially this, I'm talking specifically for tax and even in audit, in tax, you will be able to be mapped into a particular sector. And as an employee, as a tax staff, you'll be able to assist with the business development activities in that particular sector that you have been allocated in, you've been mapped in. So specifically, the business development activities that we are talking about here include, but not limited to, let's say, client pursuits. Remember, our aim is to increase the market share and to increase the, just a pool of clients that you are serving. And as part of enlarging and gaining more clients, we are normally also involved in pursuing more clients. And we do that through, of course, referrals and also through proposal writing. So we normally write proposals and do a presentation to our clients, potential clients, and at the end of the day, we normally win them. So that is one of the business development activities that we normally do, in particular in our sectors. Then apart from that, we also do a lot of publications. We also do a lot of publications and also articles that we share with the clients that we believe that they can really help clients in growing their business.
Okay.
So that's it about me. I could talk a lot about myself, but that's just a brief summary about myself, Kimani.
Oh,
thank you.
Wow, it's very, you went into detail, that you covered many of the types of questions that we had, and you also touched a lot on the kind of work EY does and the kind of work you can expect to do. Just only 3 years into the job that you're doing. I want to ask Emmanuel if he also has a presentation, so that if he does, he can quickly rush through it, then we can ask you a couple of questions before you have to drop off the call. Okay.
Thank you, Jerome. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jerome. I don't have a presentation, but don't worry. I will proceed to proceed as in terms of covering the areas Marceline has covered.
Okay.
My name is Emmanuel Makheti. I'm an economist by profession. I did an undergrad in economics and statistics from the University of Nairobi. Earlier, pre-university, I had done ACCA, Strathmore University, and previously, just before that, like many of us, high school. From there on, I did want to specialize in freight forwarding, which is a practice within the customs space, a subset of, or rather one of the taxes that are covered in Kenya. So basically, currently I'm doing my master's at the University of Nairobi, still in economics. But if I could start my journey within EY, I came in as an experienced hire.
Oh, okay.
This is because when I finished my undergrad, I was employed by Jomo Pay Limited, a department within WebTribe Limited for a period of 12 months. I did 3 years. After that 12 months, I thought I needed to get exposure in a hands-on business firm. And Kenya Association of Manufacturers offered quite reasonable terms for me. I joined as an intern at Kenya Association of Manufacturers from WebTribe Limited, having done 12 months. I rose to the level of an assistant, first a service support officer, then an assistant, then an executive officer within their policy research and advocacy unit. That was between the years 2013 up to 2016. So at the time I was leaving Kenya Association of Manufacturers, I was a fully fledged economist, policy analyst, tried and tested. Then I joined the EY as a tax consultant in May 2016. I worked, Lilian will attest to this, and got promoted first to a senior, then to assistant manager, a position I currently hold at the firm. In terms of introduction, that's about it. But let me speak to my role within EY currently. EY at the global level has a strategy called the Next Wave strategy, and it is anchored in what we call a long-term value framework. The framework tries to bring value across four facets. It's like a balanced scorecard where we measure our performance across four main quadrants. So the first quadrant, we have to bring value to our clients. The second one, we have to bring value to employees within EY. The third one, and what we are currently doing now, is we want to bring value to the society. And with all that, how we bring value, we have to leverage on available technology. So within Kenya, we have a cascaded version of the global strategy, which is called the Mona Lisa, especially in tax. Within the Mona Lisa, there are, I think Marceline has spoken to how we are arranged as a firm. And then as an individual, both from partners to managers to seniors to staff up to the level of interns and even the support officers, they each have a role to play within the Mona Lisa strategy. So my role as an assistant manager in the tax department is indirect tax practice, where I support with the subject matter expertise on indirect taxes, that will be customs, VAT, excise duty, and stamp duty to some extent. It's not limited to that, but how you are profiled gives you a speciality within the firm. Secondly, then, from a sector's perspective, I have to specialize. My background is in manufacturing, and within manufacturing, then I am able to support across the various taxes within that space. Then, other than that, we have support services that we do on a day-to-day basis, but I will stop there so that we can move to the next item. Thank you.
Wow. I think I really like the way both you, Marceline, and Emmanuel, you've managed to distill very, very complex things into a way we can all understand. And you've given us the perspective of an experienced hire as well as somebody who joined from the graduate program, and shown how, I mean, it's possible for any type of person, I mean, no matter how experienced you have, to find a place in a company like EY. Riziki, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you so much, Jeroen. I will get to it. Marceline and Emmanuel, I have an interesting question for the two of you. Would you rather travel back in time and meet your ancestors, or travel to the future and meet your descendants? Marceline?
Sorry, please come up again. Riziki.
So, would you rather travel back in time and meet your ancestors, or travel to the future and meet your descendants?
Marceline thinks about it.
I
for
think,
me,
as I think about it, sorry, Emmanuel, you can.
As you think about it, so that for me, I will enjoy the journey because I cannot focus on history or look. I cannot forecast the future, but I would say, especially from the EY experience since I joined to where I am, and depending on the feedback I'm receiving, where I plan to be. For me, I can appreciate where I've come from, and I, especially knowing from other employees who are ahead of me, both in Kenya and in other jurisdictions, I realize I've only covered an iceberg, the top of the iceberg, but there's still a lot to be discovered within where I am today. So I'll say I appreciate I've come from far, but I cannot dwell on it because I still have got a long way to go, and it's just to enjoy every day as it comes. Back to you, Marceline, sorry.
I think Emmanuel has said it right, and no difference from Emmanuel. When I was doing a brief introduction about myself, I had mentioned Riziki, if you heard me right, that I can only look forward to the so much that EY has in store for us in terms of growth, and that is informed by the so much that I've observed, have seen, have undergone, the experiences, the great experiences that I've received, and the great encounters and the great exposures. So for me, my past is more of learning. It's more of learning, and I believe I haven't, just like Emmanuel, I haven't achieved much. And just like any other person, I'm forward-looking. I am anticipating, or rather, I'm expecting a lot from EY, and of course through the interactions with the clients and the team that I'm working with, and I'm greatly and that's the forward-looking is really inspired by the you see the people personally from where I stand. There's certain things that I look, or rather the people that I associate with, and the journeys that they have walked and where they are at the moment really inspire me a lot. And that's why I'm looking forward to I would say that to a better role, or rather to a better position, or rather to better opportunities than what I have garnered so far. So again, Riziki, it's all about looking into the future. The past, I don't think I will go back to my past. It's still acting to me as it's a learning journey, and for me, I would take my past as a learning experience, and it will help me to just to drive towards the future where I want to be.
Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Marceline. So you've answered most of our questions during your presentation, but tell us this: what is the best thing and the worst thing about working in your role?
Emmanuel?
If Marceline could start.
I could start.
Yes.
The best and the worst. Let me start with the best, because I think for me, the best overweighs the worst. Wow. So for me, the best thing about my role is the learning I get each and every day. Like and this is driven by the kind of projects that I work on an everyday basis. I get to learn new things each and every day, and that one grows me both personally and professionally. So that's the best. And also, you know, the team that I work with, I get to learn a lot from them, and it's something that I will continue to appreciate. It's something that builds me, and it's something that adds value to me as well as to the farm. So that's the best experience so far for me in my current role. And also being able to, you know, exposed to challenging tasks and having opportunity to, you know, do a lot of presentations and do a lot of research, and at the end of the day, delivering or rather providing quality to the client, and clients coming back to you and telling you that, wow, that was a well done job. So that's the best thing about my current work.
Okay, thank you. Emmanuel?
Marceline hasn't mentioned the worst, so I will focus on both the best. The best, I think, giving back in terms of effort and in terms of deliverables. For me, when I finished high school, I thought, wow, I've done it. Then I realized there is campus. When I finished campus, I thought I had done it. Then there was internship. Then when I joined work, I realized you're starting from the bottom again. So when I moved up the ranks at CAM, then I realized I've only hacked CAM. There is a global firm, EY. When I moved up through EY, I realized there are steps. So for me, I live with the challenges that come every day. And at some point, I didn't think I will start commence my master's program, but I realized you have to start. Within EY, there is a whole university within EY where you can get MBA in tech, MBA in sustainability. And I believe if you look at most of the EY employees across the world, they keep publishing badges where they time themselves and complete certain learnings every day. Within EY, work tasks are grouped into client and engagements. You get booked in multiple engagements, and this keeps you on toes. You are working for the multinationals of this world within set timelines, and you have really to work with diverse teams: Indians, Argentinians, people from the UK, the US. You are delivering across various time zones, so you really have to manage yourself well. And I think you realize I'm coming to the challenge in day. So in the challenge, if I could chart a quadrant, one of the key areas, and probably women succeed at this more than men in the farm, where when you group your tasks into those that are urgent, those are not urgent, those are important or not important, you get your priorities straight. And especially it's that difficult in tax because in tax, it doesn't matter what is supposed to be delivered. Timelines is key. If you miss the timeline or a deadline, then you are automatically off. So a key challenge is then to meet your obligations within the context that you are part of a strategy in Kenya and a part of both strategy. So the small effort that you put or the bigger effort that you put translates into wider goals for the farm. Back to you, Riziki.
Thank you so much, Elena and Marceline, for your insight today towards your jobs and how it is working at EY. I would like to pass the mantle back to Jerome.
Okay. Sadly,
Jerome.
because you don't have much time for the two of you, since you do have to leave. I'd just ask you to both give a parting shot, a very short 30-second parting shot, and I'd like you to sort of tell us, basically advise us, because most of us here are recent graduates and students who are looking to graduate within the next 1 or 2 years. So starting with you, Marceline, just give us a parting shot, something you could say that you would give us, you'd advise us to do if we want to be in your position 2 or 3 years to come. So Marceline.
Thank you so much, Jerome. As a parting shot, and being that our audience entails students who are still ongoing with their studies and also the recent graduates. Okay, now for the ongoing, the students who are currently ongoing with their studies, I would say that just focus on just focus on your studies, continue giving your best. Okay, maybe to those, I'm not sure whether the audience covers the first year, second year to fourth year, or just not sure, but I'm just going to give a general piece of advice to the students who are ongoing with their studies. Can you just focus on your studies and put in the necessary efforts and aim at getting the best grade and best performance at the end of the 4-year course, or rather, however, whatever period your course might take you. Because when you come into the job market, of course, your performance will be key. The first thing that they'll be looking at is, what was your performance? How have you performed in the subject matter, rather in the course that, rather in the area that you are pursuing for a role. So a key thing, or rather the key point there is focus on your studies and give it your best so that you can get the best grade and the best performance at the end when you graduate at the end of your course. Then to the recent graduates, I know right now you are so you're so much into, you're looking forward to, you have got a dream already. You are aspiring to work for specific firms. For example, you want to work for EY, and maybe you don't know, you don't know at all maybe the best route, rather how is your find your way into the firm. My take here would be is that based on your aspirations, based on where you want to. Okay, first of all, do not just focus on, maybe be open-minded in terms of job searching. Be open-minded in terms of putting applications. Have a portfolio of selected firms that you desire to work for. Then look for the best, or rather channel, the best, or rather the platforms, or the channels on how you can get your applications to the firm. Probably through, you can just keep up and keep looking at the opportunities that may arise in such firms that you are aspiring to work for, and being aggressive in making your applications, then trying your best. And maybe in terms of now getting to know those particular opportunities, first, I think it's through search forums. But then when I was in the university, I was glad to be part of, I was the finance secretary to the Accounting Students Association of the University of Nairobi. And I was glad, I was happy to be part of this committee that organizes the career fairs. So, and I can tell with much confidence how the career fairs are very valuable and they really helped me. So through these particular career fairs, and it's what now you are calling about the ThriveCon. Yeah, they really helped a lot, because it's through those sessions or other forums that I established some very nice contacts that really helped me when I came out of the university. So it's through network. Your network is your network, right? So it's through the network that you can easily get to know where opportunities are, and you can easily drop your opportunities, applications, and do what, and apply. So it's through the networking, the connections. You can use the LinkedIn, you can use the LinkedIn platforms to connect with those, ask for connections with the firms that, with the friends that work in the firms that you want to work at, and ask for them for guidance. You consult and let them know if the opportunities arise, then they can just let you know when such opportunity arise. And again, it's through those particular connections that can help you ace your interviews. They'll guide you accordingly. So mine, in a nutshell, that's it for the job seekers at the moment. Just stay focused, improve, work on your network, and stay updated with whatever is going on in the job market. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Because she's eaten into your 30 seconds, Emmanuel, I'll give you 15 seconds to give.
Sorry, Emmanuel.
Not to worry. I appreciate what Marceline has indicated. So I'll just plug in areas I think will also be relevant in addition to what she has indicated. So from where I sit, I think Lilian will speak of a referral scheme. Whenever there are graduate trainee applications, we see thousands and thousands of them coming in, and Lilian will speak to them. So it takes also effort to stand out from the crowd. And one of the suggestions I will give to a budding applicant is link up with an existing employee of the target firm. And for instance, in EY, over and above the normal GHRS applications, the recruitment portal applications, there is a referral network where if you feel there is a STEM graduate that is qualified in a certain field of play, I can refer that person to EY, and their CV can sit in a repository pending the, you see, whenever there is a vacancy, then the first place of contact, and Lilian will correct me if I'm wrong. The repository comes into play, and even the positions are readily available to the emails of those who are in that repository. So stand out from the 1,000+ crowd, link up with an existing, from a mentor-mentee perspective, I know we have counselor, family trees within the firm. Link up to know, at least get advantage on what is going on, and which are these, even as you take your course, which are these course outline that will be relevant to the job market. Some units I took at the time, I really haven't applied them to this day, but there are even certificate courses in addition to what I had that I took, and I realized I am applying them holistically in what I do today. So regardless of what you are taking, the course you're taking right now, also try to find out what are the skill sets that are selling in the market at the moment. I can pick out 3 of them, and I realize RStudio is a statistical package that is currently very, very advanced in terms of solution offerings. And we have India teams who are specialized in this. Power BI is another additional package that, and Python is the third one. And we see there are centers of excellence which are set up in other countries with specialists in this area. And when you're looking for a job, don't just focus on Kenya as well. I know within EY we have mobility programs that allow you to work in South Africa, in Nigeria, and even in the Netherlands. Also find out what positions within your target employer are outside the country and what are the minimum requirements. And finally, this was important for me. I know Marceline has mentioned being affiliated with a student association such as a COSA. As you graduate, you'll then try to see the professional certification such as CPA, membership to Institute of Economic Affairs, licensing by Kenya Freight Forwarders Association. Those are on top of your degree, so that you stand out from the crowd in terms of just added advantage. But in addition to that, there are things which will not present themselves in form of certificates, but it will show directly, even by somebody just speaking to you. Things like presentation skills, communication skills, teaming skills, and this, you see, they will not be taught theoretically. There are things even within groups within your campus, how you interact, how you manage, how you cook together, there are certain things that you will not be taught. But as soon as you start working, you will start applying these things even intuitively within your job market. So let me stop there. I know I only had limited time. Back to you, Jerome.
All right. At this juncture, as we say thank you to Marceline and Emmanuel for their very powerful session, I'd like to ask all of us, every single person, just please turn on your videos and please be ready to smile kidogo so that we can take a photo with our panelists. I've seen, yes, Kahira has turned on his video. All right, let me remove all the pins. Okay, nice. Good to see you people. Definitely the things we've learned so far were very valuable, and STEM graduates, I hope you are listening. Referral is a thing. Like, it will help you stand out from thousands of people, like he's mentioned. So all of you STEM people in the building, I see you, Lydia, I see you, Gladys, Sharon, Benson, Minor, all of you engineers, having a one-on-one connection with these people, especially on a platform like LinkedIn, having met in a session like this gives you an added advantage, because the fact that there's been even a little bit of communication, you can use that to build a connection that can give them the confidence to refer you to a role in EY, because they know you are capable of doing that role. I'm going to give guys 1 more minute to turn on the videos as we take a quick photo. Good to see you, all of you. Hi, Abna. Hi, Gladys. Okay, sawa. Thank you, James. Sharon, you had turned on your video just now. I don't know where you've gone. All right. Awesome. Okay. Nice, Collins. Thank you. Hey, Benson. Inamat. Thank you. We appreciate the.
I'm traveling back.
Yeah. Appreciate the commitment. All right. Thank you very much. Without further ado, I would like to move to the next session. I'd like to ask Agatha to get ready to be in the hot seat. I'm going to be asking her a few questions. But so far, please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. If there's anything you want to know, and to ask somebody specifically, I think Marceline, lucky for us, will be staying on. If you had a question for her, just private chat her in her inbox. Introduce yourself. Be very courteous. Yeah? Don't just go and say, "Hi, tell me about this." Say your name, say what you do, and then ask her a quick question. And I mean, here's the kind of place, like Marceline said, that you have an opportunity here that you don't get often, to make a connection with somebody who would potentially be very useful to you in your career. So I think Agatha is ready. I see her smiling over there. Yes. So as
Yes, I am.
You are. Okay. Good morning. As she joins in, I'd like to introduce her really quickly. And then she'll give us a bit more of her background. She's from our alma mater. All of you who are here from JKUAT. Agatha is a JKUAT grad, Juja boys, with a BSc in procurement management, if I'm correct. And she's currently an assurance associate at Ernst & Young. So Agatha, the floor is yours. Tell us a bit about yourself before we move into your session.
Okay. By name, I am Agatha Jomo. I am a JKUAT graduate, of course. Yeah, my degree is procurement and contract management. Yes, sisi ni wale wa SPA and Correct. Benson, it's so good to see you. I met Benson. We were in church together.
Happy to see you, Agatha.
Good to see you too. Jerome, I think uko hall 6.
Yes, mimi ni mtu wa hall 7.
Yeah, it's really good to see you. So that's my degree. And other than that, I'm also a CPAK. And now I work for Ernst & Young as an assurance associate. Yeah, I joined EY in November, that is 15th November last year. So I am almost clocking in exactly 6 months. Yes, so it's a pleasure to see you all.
Okay, awesome. So as we begin.
Yes, so now I can move into the agenda.
Before we do that, I'd like to ask an icebreaker question. Are you a cat person or a dog person? Sorry, did you hear the question?
No.
Oh,
Count again.
The question is, are you a cat person or a dog person? You like cats or dogs?
Person.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can go right ahead into the questions. Might you have had any presentation prepared? Or?
No, but I have a brief of what you expect me to talk of. So I'll just go right into it.
Go ahead.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. It's so good to see you. That's one of my mentors there. It's so good to see you. So first, I'll be taking you through my pre-interview preparation, the onboarding process. So to start with, I applied to join EY on 10th August. I remember it was 10th August because that was really, really rushing to get things right. And I'm glad that I did in the nick of time. Yes, so after the application process, I got a call, which we did on 23rd September. So you can mark the timelines so that you don't get very tensed when it's on nothing is coming. So 23rd September, I did the aptitude test, which went well. The aptitude test was one of the tests that you get. You can always Google EY sample aptitude test and get to practice. There are many websites that have such. So I used such for practice. 23rd September, I was set. There are some math questions, logical reasoning, some English language there. Yes, so that was it about the aptitude test. Then I listed to the manager's interview. Now that one took place on 2nd October. So you can see 23rd September, 2nd October, about 2 weeks. Yes. So interview went well. We did it at EY premises, but still on Teams. I think as at then there was still COVID, and you know how things work nowadays. The interview was mainly situational questions, trying to see how you reason. For example, if you're working in a team and you're not of the same opinion, how would you go about a situation where you are the leader of a team that's not doing well? What did you do about it? What was causing that? So a lot of situational and behavioral questions applied to my interview, an interview of about 4 panelists, 4 managers and senior managers. And I think there was also an AD, director. So after the manager's interview, I was shortlisted yet again to the partners interview. Now the partners interview, which I did on 25th October, but there was a small catch to it. So they did an email on 22nd October, which was a Friday. They tell you to do a presentation. So Friday, 5 p.m., you get an email to do a presentation and submit it by the next day, Saturday. And it's Friday.
I see Lilian smiling because she knows. Lilian knows.
She knows what she did there.
Yeah.
And she was actually the one doing the email.
Wow.
It's really, when you apply and you keep refreshing your emails, I think that's very important
Yeah.
because you're highly likely to miss it. So I spent my Friday night doing a presentation. So you prepare a PPT, a 10-minute presentation, which was just how would you and your team go about preparing a winning proposal? What resources would you really? So it's a 10-minute presentation, so you get to know how to do your slides. So I did my PPT, submitted it, I think at 1 a.m. Lilian. And now the actual presentation was now to be on Monday, that is now 25th October. So on 25th October, I was there, receive your PPT prior to the actual presentation. So they just project it. And that's where now you shine or shine. So I did my presentation and then did a bit of interview questions. That was a partners interview. There are 2 partners interviewing me. So that's, if you have any further questions on that, you can reach out to me. And then now I got the call back on 4th November. So 25th, 4th November. Come for your contracts. Hey, you guys. Later on, I got to meet the receptionist, and I always tell her, every time I hear your voice, I remember that call. So special. And every time I see Lilian, I remember those emails, and it's amazing. So the start date was 15th November. So we went in and got to do induction, getting to know the different sectors, getting to know where we'll be working, getting to know what is some training. I don't think many of us had done auditing before, so it was totally new. So we do a training right from scratch. What is auditing? How do you go about it? Yes, that's how. For all my interview preparations, I can say I did a lot of listening to career coaches. There's Joanne, the career coach. I really follow her, and on Instagram or LinkedIn. She's good. And the thing about listening to career coaches and such, they might not necessarily address what you'll be asked in the interview, but it gives you a certain level of confidence. It gives you an assurance of what is expected. So even if you step in and whatever is there is quite different from what you've seen, you still have, because you have prepared for it. Yes. And you can also, to get to know about opportunities, for example, EY, now follow them on and all these job sites, right, Monday and such. Even if I think they'll always advertise, yes. And I was to tackle was how was the GQuad to EY transition?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That's very interesting because GQuad different institutions. In GQuad, you can miss a class, but in EY cannot miss a day at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So an easy transition, because that's also part of what we're calling adulting nowadays, where you are absolutely responsible for every responsibility that befalls you.
Yeah.
I'll say one of the biggest parts of this transition was to stop thinking like a comrade and to start thinking like a professional. Yeah, that was the decision I had to make. And it's not hard. It's not hard because when you're in GQuat learning and all this, you're preparing for what lies out here and not EY. So it wasn't really a matter of having to stick to being a GQuat person. You just transition right into what makes you tough.
Okay.
I remember the clearance process was hard than the education itself.
Yeah.
So that tough skin
Yes.
in that you build all through GQuat with missing marks and everything, it helps you. It helps you. It helps you in the future. Yes, I'll move on to my next topic, which is work-life balance and mental health in this demanding role.
Yeah.
So what I'd say about work is when it's time to work. Leave WhatsApp and Instagram for those hours and there. And then now when it's time for fun, have fun. Because what happens when you have such a thin line in between the two is you may find yourself taking something which should have taken 30 minutes doing if you are fresh enough for it. So when you're at work, make every second count and put every, and then when you're at, let's say you are attending a family function or you're just weekending, put your machine away and just be in that moment. Yes, really key. And mental health in such a demanding role, what I'd say is find a balance, find your center. For me, my center is because sometimes you're just looking at something and you really don't know how to go about it, or you just have this big variance that just came out. I just like, now what's this? And sometimes you just take a minute and I just say, Jesus, it's just me and you, let's do this. And it works out. So find what and hold on to that. And that will really, really, really come in handy for you. And I don't know if you can allow me to share my screen a minute there.
Let me make you the co-host.
I have something.
No problem.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I think you can share now.
Okay. I don't know if you can.
Yes, I can.
Okay. I wish.
Yes, we can.
Can you? Okay, so I realized something really, really special today. Today is 9th April 2022. If you look at the GQuad, exactly a day like this, that was our graduation. Yeah, so we graduated on 9th April 2021. Photo is someone who's very happy. But what I can tell you is that thank God that photos do not capture what exactly is going on in a, because here my attachment contract had ended and I was graduating, but then I was thinking, what next? What now after this graduation? Where am I going? So I can, when I see this picture today, 1 year later, what I can tell you is that so much can change in a year. And all for your good. And
wow,
this is a year ago, you guys. Yeah, and if you look at this environment, this is somewhere in GQuad, so-called Red Hats.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, so if that was a year ago, trust the process.
Yeah.
Just fall into place. Do the most you can do at a time when you can do it. When it's time to learn. When it's time to apply for those jobs, apply, on and on. And later, we are here, yeah. So that's what I'd tell you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I think your session has taken the exact amount of time that it was supposed to, because you were very quick and you're very structured in your approach. Wow, I like how you ended it, that in one year everything has changed, because you graduated in a season of like you're a bit anxious about what's next. And also you told us it took about, was it from April to October, that's about 5 months, 6 months actually, for you to actually get the opportunity to start interviewing, and then you got your job in November. So that's quite a long time. So I love the fact that you're encouraging those of us here who are in that season right now and are trying to, prepare ourselves to move the next step. And it's very encouraging. It's very, it's very uplifting knowing that there's people in this group that you are friends with and you know very well, but they are also soon going to be in your shoes, and it's nothing. It's not that big of a change. It's just it's life. So at this point, we have two remaining panelists. Thank you very much, Agatha. Your session has been amazing. Please add her on LinkedIn, connect with her, message her if you have more questions. And just going back to what Emmanuel said, Emmanuel has also sent us a link on the chat. There's a referral system that if somebody believes in you enough and you've made a connection, you can possibly have an easier time applying amid 1,000 applications or 2,000. So for the next 2 minutes, I'd like us to all just take a break and stretch our hands, stretch our fingers as we move to a very interesting session with a very interesting gentleman. Just feel free to rush, grab your tea from the microwave, and we meet back here at 11:05. I hope that's fine. Or 11:06. 11:06. I'll give you 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Don't mind. I'm gonna walk without my. Okay.
Sorry?
Okay. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So our next panelist, let me share my screen. I can see he's here. Sharon, you can take it away as he introduces himself. Maybe.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Hello. My name is Sharon. I will be taking you through this part of a session. Our panelist for this session is Ngunjiri Kariuki. Him to tell us a little bit about himself and introduce himself. Welcome, Kariuki.
Okay, great. That's the surest way of knowing that I can be heard. Not audible enough, please just raise a hand. Then we can continue. So, introduce myself. Wow, I usually find it hard to answer that question because every time it's under a different context. So how I'll introduce myself in the office is not the same way I introduced myself in the interview. But the purpose of this very great session that we have been having, I'm Rafael Ngunjiri Kariuki. I am an assurance associate. EY. I think our markets manager, she's called Edith, told us that we need to stop saying Ernst & Young. Ernst & Young 8 years ago. So I didn't know that, to be honest. So I knew that when I got into the firm. But Lilian, don't go tell Edith I said that. Yes, I think that's a good introduction for now.
Yeah. So we'll start with the important question. The way things are going, might end up in a zombie apocalypse or in your apocalypse. So if we're in a zombie apocalypse, who are 3 people you want on your team and why?
Okay. Is there scope? Am I limited to a certain scope?
No, just any 3 people.
Any 3 people I want in my team. Okay. I don't have specific people. A scientist, a dream scientist, because these are guys who will be able to make things and see opportunities and ideas from nothing. So that will be good in terms of like defend yourself. I would also want a military-esque kind of guy. You know, these guys who are seemingly not being anyone. Yes, for purposes of protection and to do the dirty work that I would be unable to. And then lastly, a funny guy, because you know when everything hits the ceiling, man, you need a little bit of humor here and there. So yeah, those are the three kind of people I want.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So no something else. So what was your pre-interview process? How did you prepare for your interview for AY? And what was your through the interview process and onboarding as a new recruit?
Okay. Wow. So pre-interview process. Agatha graduated. When did she graduate? She graduated in April. Myself, December. So between December and April, I'm looking for jobs here and there, here and there, here and there. Nothing. Not as successful in my application. Then I made the decision. Let me just start working on my digital marketing firm. We had a partnership with 3 of my friends that we had formed in campus. And as we were going through the motions, I realized there were certain areas, certain aspects in a professional experience that was so green, because I'll go to a client and I was not able to answer. I realized also I was not very deep into the digital marketing, but I was more about the business development. So a certain EY poster came out. This was in July, and it was on the status, and I inquired. He was a partner because he left the firm, but yeah, he put out the opportunity, and I asked him about it, and he told me just do it, you know, just do it. I believe in you. Clearly your CV is great. So that was on July 31st. August 10th, but July 31st. Then you wait, radio silence, and that's the problem that you have. It's just radio silence. One day when you least expect it, there's an interview. Okay, your CV is good. So let's see if your CV matches your skills. We did the session. Now, I don't know if Agatha experienced this, but as I was doing my session, the system, there was a lag in the system. I think there were very many people who had joined at the same time. So there was a lag in the system. And after I've just finished, I'm about to submit. So I was panicking left, right, and center. And I'm like, hey, now what's happening? I reach out to the email, and I'm sure on their end, me and the rest of the team, they must have been all systems go, because that's the last thing you want. People just saying, hey, what we're putting ourselves through. So it's thank God I passed. In October, I get an email, and they tell me, I think your CV matches your skills, but do these skills match who you are as a person? And when I got there, research, farm, put down notes. I was so ready. I was ready to regurgitate this information. And then I get there. First, it's not even a physical actual one. And these people were at home, and they're associate directors, so they're just below partners. And then it was so humanizing when one of them stood up, and I realized, and he was wearing shorts. So, and I don't think he noticed that his camera was on. So I was like, it's okay, it's good. And then they eased me into it and told me, look, you've done the hard bit. Now we fit for our team. So unlike Agatha, my session was, because also I applied to the strategy and transaction service line, which is at the core of what it is that I would like to do as a person. So it's a very small team. We're about 30 in Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania. So usually every Monday at 11 o'clock we meet, all of us. So people in Uganda are doing, what the people in TZ are doing, what the people in the Kigali office will be doing as well. So that I was like, you know what? The interaction went, I think I was a good fit. So I was confident. And then as Agatha says, at 5, 6 p.m., because there's nothing that's going on, and an email comes. It's like, there's no sherehe you're going to. You have something due tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And it's a very make or break. Sit down, do the presentation, very green. I don't even know what is. I'm calling people left, right, and center. How do I do this? What do I do? Nini. And then you have a presentation on, this is now Tuesday, the following week. What I didn't say is that this was a presentation for the partners. Just going to be another virtual one. Yeah, let's just go, let's do it. Everyone's telling me, okay, fine, you have it in the bag, confidence, wake up, dressed, put on my suit, everything, I'm ready. And then I get to the office and I see the partner walk across. Maybe he's just here to join his laptop in his office. Then he walks back with another partner. They go into the training room. I was like, what? It's 8 o'clock. Who is being interviewed? This is the break. But yes, definitely put my best foot forward, because I reminded myself of how far I had come to actually. I've graduated in December. I've come all this way. No. So belief in oneself is very key. One question I did not like at all through the entire process, and thankfully Lilian didn't ask me that question, is, you did a construction-based course. Why are you here in EY? And in fact, we're not a contractor, we're not an architect. And I'm like, yes, guys, I researched and I did my best, to put out. So once we did the partner interview, I think 2 days later, Lilian called me, attending to a personal engagement at the time. And I was panicking because I was in the middle of it and I was the center of it all. She had asked for my identification just to make sure my details were correct. And I'm like, oh, I need to do this. And then my phone was hanging and it was a panic. I look back and I said, if only I'd relaxed a bit. Then the following week, email, please come and make sure you collect your contract. I didn't need to be told twice. I was on my way. I think I was on my way to Westlands. I live near Langata. On my way to Westlands, I diverted immediately. I showed up in shorts that day. I was the first one there, together with a colleague of mine. She's called. We found and we've become friends ever since that day. We're the first ones there. We're like, what am I waiting for? Bring that contract. Let us sign. In fact, if I want, I'll give it with you. So yeah, and as Agatha had also said, we get back in. So we're a team. So I think there was about 2,100 applicants. We've been cut down all the way to 36 people. So we've all been put in the training room. So I realized there was a challenge when now we were being allocated our laptops, and some people's laptops are different from others. And then that's when I had applied to the assurance service line. There was some people in the tax service line, and then there's 4 of us who were in the strategy and transactions team. But they say all of you service line for the next 6 months. Now, this is a guy who will not do CPS. This is a guy who
Hello,
US who is being told he's going to be doing
We're losing you. We can't hear you. Raf? Breaking.
in the middle of a busy season. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, yes. I can hear you.
Yeah. Hi, Sharon. Sorry, I'm not sure whether we've lost Ngunjiri, or it's only from my end.
Yeah, I think he's dropped.
Maybe it's a network issue.
I think I will hand over to Jerome to guide us on what's next.
Oh, am I back?
Okay.
Okay.
Raphael, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, that was the biggest. It's come to pass, but we move regardless.
Okay. So,
yes.
So the next thing, you mentioned that strategy and transactions. So, what do you think are some of the skills, the knowledge that you got from your university, able to transfer into your role in EY?
Okay. For me, there's 2 skills as a consequence of the degree course as a whole, and this is the skill of resilience. Yes, and the public system has a way of turning into a resilient person. So every day when I'm on a project and to and then the second one is analytical thinking, and this is just specific to another course because quantity surveying, it being the finance side of the construction industry, money is always a very sensitive issue, regardless, whether it is with your shopkeeper, whether it is with your family, whether it is in business, you always have to be keen. And so that kind of questioning, the questioning of why is it like this, why is it like that, is something that I've been able to transfer into the projects that I'm doing. And it gives me a small edge, okay, not over my colleagues, but it helps every day when I'm learning something new, something different to yeah. So the resilience that came from the degree course as a whole, and the analytical mind that came from kuchambua, preparing those BQs where the contractor wants to tell you this is how it is that we're going to do it, then you have to ask them, no, what is this? The devil is always in the detail. So yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay, so you also mentioned your market. How about you? You participated in things like Quiver and ISEC and Connexus, that also in Quiver. So how do you think these extracurriculars impacted your life? Like how are they able to impact you in applying? How are you able to apply maybe some of the things that you gained from your extracurricular experiences?
So introduced a proper career crisis in my life, because I came to realize that without training, I'm much better at doing these other things, the marketing and the whole element of business development, than I am in my construction. So they served to hit me with a bit of a reality check on what is it do I exactly want to do with my life. Has asked themselves, or will have to ask themselves at some point, what is it where do I envision myself? Where do I see my life headed? And once you answer that question, then everything else becomes crystal clear, because you start preparing yourself towards that direction. So even as I was applying, I was confident because what is your purpose, as Lilian has put it. So sure that there's people who will be more qualified in that field. But I had, while in second year, third year, fourth year, I had, started putting the stepping stones, the building blocks to prop myself to becoming that great finance professional, learning from mentors, picking up, being told no a lot of times, because you go to a client and they're like, yes, I've never heard of you in my life, so I'll not do that. Those no's turning them into yeses, and adding at least also to the analytical thinking and the resilience that I picked from my degree course. They in a very wholesome manner, they brought me to the point where I'm saying, you know what, I'm putting in my CV, I'm going to make this choice to take this chance and effect a change in my life. I'm on my social media. I think even my WhatsApp status, the bio was choices, chances, changes. And it's from that first question, what's my purpose? What do I want to do with my life? That now I put the building blocks. And so when I'm going into Quiver, when I'm going into ISEC and I'm doing the marketing, I'm learning, okay, fine, I'm not good with backend. I'm not that's not where my forte lies. And accounting for the expenses of the firm. But I'm good in convincing people to buy into the business. Okay, let's give that a shot. Let's try this. Let's try that. Let's try that. And I guess prayer also helped me, like Agatha said, anchoring yourself to a higher purpose than yourself also enables you to propel yourself to. It's from those experiences and that first question that you asked myself that I reached that point. So they have helped me very greatly. I think in Quiver, I assisted the team there in terms of looking for partnerships with various firms. ISAC, I don't know if there's anyone in ISAC here, but I was, it was marketing. And then this is Core Nexus. Core Nexus, in fact, now bridged the marketing that I wanted to do and being in the construction industry. Because we do awards for the construction industry, we're also looking to be consultants for sustainability as well. Yeah, then when I realized that I was not getting a bit of employment is when I decided to start. And I realized I'm not well versed with my business development skills. So when that opportunity came with the strategy and transactions team to grow myself and to build a better working world, I know Lilian is smiling at that. Yes, exactly. But EY, our purpose is to build a better working world. Yes. Yeah, that opportunity has helped me. It's my first job, and I'm really, really enjoying myself. Every day, there's always something fun, and I get to work with people like Agatha. Lilian also gives me opportunities to explore my talents because I'm also a photographer. So anytime there's an event in the office and it needs some coverage, I can email them and she says, okay, fine. Could you assist our team with coverage? And
Thank you for that. So my final question to you, the two-part. So what has been your best experience in EY this far? And what is the best advice you have ever received?
Oh, the best advice I've ever received. Wow. Okay. So my best experience in I don't know. Every day there's always something new. Every day I get to learn something different, not just about myself, but from the farm. But I think as a whole, it's when I get into the office and Agatha is seated on one corner, and Iba is seated on the other, and my other friends, and we'll do our work. I'll consult with them. When things are, then we go for lunch, come back, and we continue working, and we work and we work and we work. So that whole aspect of teaming, especially because coming from COVID period where people were just stay away from me, social distance and everything. It's been a good experience, and this is something that other members or rather some of my colleagues that they say that a new life into the farm. So it's exciting. It's exciting experience every day. So I think that has been the best in entirety over the last 5 months now. And the best advice I have ever received is something my mom always used to. You need to be yourself. Don't be anybody else, because there's nobody who's going to be you. That will be a gap. That's a gap that is going to always exist. So always remember to be true to who you are. And people will respect you for it. People will admire you for it. People don't emulate you. So yeah, you don't want to be, you're not a photocopy. I didn't give birth to another Raphael. You are the one. So be you, nobody else. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Raphael. It's been lovely hosting you. I think we can get a 30-second parting shot from you. Anything you'd like to say, and then you can hand over to Jerome. Thank you.
Okay. Anything I would like to say? For those of us who have joined this meeting today, this is the sign that you need to start whatever it is that you've been putting off. So if you were saying that, you know what, employment is not for me, let me go and start my kabiashara somewhere. Today is the day you go to eCitizen and register that business name. Today is the day you go and ask your mzee, or you ask your mom, hey, please, would you help me with a small loan? I'm looking to buy some stock from Gikomba to thrift on Instagram. Today is the day. Today is tomorrow never comes. Yes, and if you've been starting something and maybe it's fallen through the cracks and you are struggling with a bit of consistency, today is the day to begin.
Again. All right. Okay. I think they were pretty much done. Lilian, can you hear me? I just want to confirm that the problem is not on my side. Lilian, can you hear me? Okay. So, fantastic. So thank you very much, Sharon, for moderating that session with Raphael. As usual, follow him in LinkedIn, message him if you can. And now, sorry, it's taken a while, but our final session is going to one of the most experienced people in this room, in this online room today. And this is Lilian Maruhi, an expert in all matters EY related. And I'm going to ask Gitisha Caroline to take us through her session. I can see Gitisha there. Hi, Caroline. Hi. Caroline, you can hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
So please just introduce yourself. Tell us who you are before we introduce our distinguished guest today.
Okay, thank you, Jerome. My name is Caroline Gitisha. I'm a student at KU. I've not heard anyone mention KU anywhere. So it's UON and JQuat. So I am happy to represent KU. Lovely. And I'm a fourth year economic student. Thank you. And so the last panelist today is a lady by the name Lilian, and we are very privileged to have her today because she's she's in the human resource as part of the talent acquisition. And it's my honor to invite Lilian. Lilian, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, the organizers, Jerome, Sharon, and everybody else. We are happy to have been hosting this session. And as my colleague had said, sometimes you feel uncomfortable introducing yourself. But I have to do it. I've been in EY, I think, the longest among my colleagues, and I've worked in different offices. I've been in EY close to maybe 10 plus years, having worked. I started my journey with EY from Ernst & Young Eldoret. That's where I started. And then I moved to Nairobi, worked a few years. I moved to South Sudan to set up an office there for a number of years. I've crisscrossed. I've gone to Ernst & Young Denmark. I've also gone to Ernst & Young Sweden. So that's my small journey. I have my background in terms of my academic and profession, and I took my BCom HR in the University of Nairobi. Luckily, by then, I think I was hardworking. I scored the first class, and I was sponsored to do my master's in HR. That's my bit of my background in terms of my academic and profession. I've been the talent team for a number of years, having worked in different departments, starting with a department called Core Business Services. I think my colleague mentioned the various services we have. That's where I started my journey. I moved on to work a bit in the consulting service line for a number of years, working on a government project where I was sent out to close to 5 counties. And once I cleared, I came back to the internal HR, that is the human resource department, which I've been there for quite a while. And I handle close to all functions in the HR. And believe me, all these, my colleagues have passed through my hands. So I have a history for each one of them, which has been a good experience. Yeah, so thank you very much. That's my background. We appreciate being hosted today.
Thank you. Lilian, before we begin, I have one question for you. Since you are actually in the talent acquisition, what is that one?
Okay, maybe it, what can I say? It's not hidden as per se, because I believe in ensuring that all skills should be front, because as you hear, Rafa mentioned that I'm always looking for him for the photography. So if he had to hide his skill, it will not be being utilized. So maybe mine, it's mostly, I love dealing with children a lot. And most of the time in my house, I'm always having children coming to visit. All my neighborhoods, they're always in my house full. So I think that's a skill. I think I always say maybe I was meant to be a Sunday school or whatever, a teacher. Yes, but I think maybe that's a skill that I've not explored for quite some time.
Okay, thank you. About the technically as when you're applying for a job, there is the whole process that takes place. So I wanted to ask, what are the stages for between application and the job offer for anyone who's applying?
Sorry, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I had a short presentation with my colleague, and I believe you're asking more closely in terms of the onboarding process, right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, let me know if you're able to see my screen. Be able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so this is the journey from time you somebody's commenting something.
I don't think we can see it. Can you shared your screen?
I thought so.
Oh,
1 minute. Let me know once you see my screen.
Okay.
Not sure why it's not picking up.
Maybe let me make you host.
Maybe because I'm trying to click on the share screen. It's not speaking. How about
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, thank you. So this is a journey in terms of onboarding. Rough version of how a call was made that particular day to pick his contracts. And that's the time we start the journey. You can see here. So after you sign your contract, we start onboarding you, and it means you've agreed to the terms and conditions. There's a system, the background uploading of your profile that is done. You'll find you provide some documents, maybe your ID, you provide maybe the next of kin, there's some document that you fill so that you're able to create that profile. So after creating, you'll receive a notification later once it's active before you join EY. Then, of course, there's the induction period, and usually the for the various service lines. After that, you'll see that once the profile is active, you're able to see a welcoming message from Ernst & Young. And this gives you a brief in terms of who will be a immediate manager, who will be a buddy, and a buddy means your first-time friend. We always allocate a new joiner, a friend, who will help you to settle down, find your way, specific service line that you're joining. Then from there, you'll find you'll be expected to undertake various learning. I'm sure you've picked some few lessons from my colleague. You keep learning and to keep the trend that is currently there, because you find the clients need to believe in you in terms of what you're delivering. Are you aware of what is happening in the market? So we keep learning. So there are learnings that you're going to be assigned to you immediately as a new joiner. Then from there, there's somebody called a counselor. This is your immediate you, if anything in respect to a new joiner, their performance, their stay, everything, a counselor is responsible. He double ups as your mentor, your coach. Then from there, we have counseling family tree. This is where every partner is assigned, what can I say? As you look at our family, there's a father and then their children in there. So the partner is the one who leads his group. And in his group, you'll find their various ranks, starting from the directors to the seniors to the interns. So every now and then, quarterly or monthly, they keep on cutting. Everybody else is made settled, and they keep checking on each other. I'd mentioned about learning. Learning in EY is critical. And I can tell you, especially as professionals, there are specific CPE hours, 40 plus, that you're expected to have achieved before the financial year. So you have no excuse at all. So learning is continuous. And of course, we have the exceptional experience in Ernst & Young, and we welcome you and ensure that you settle down. I keep checking on the new joiners on how they're settling and what are the challenges they're experiencing, to ensure that by the time they get to there, maybe the third month or thereabouts, they have been able to know what their expectations in terms of their KPI, in terms of their personal goals, what they have been looking forward to. And yes, over to you.
Thank you, Lilian. And in relation to what you've talked about, I wanted to ask about the movement rotation. Do rotations occur in your organization, maybe movement from one department to another? Kariuki had talked about moving from different lines. So how does that take place?
Yes, it does. And that happens so that you are able to upskill. Mobilities. They are called mobilities. There is a departmental whereby like Marceline would move from tax to assurance to go and learn more from there. There's also a global mobility whereby you'd be seconded. For instance, right now we have people who are in Jamaica, there are others in US, and there's some who in Saudi Arabia. And we also have the domestic, whereby the staff will be seconded to ensure that the employees are able to upskill themselves and also to learn geographically what other countries are doing.
Okay, thank you. So having interviewed two of our panelists, I had a question about the interview process, during the interview, how the interview takes place. So what is that one, some of the characteristics that you look for during an actual physical interview? Like, what makes a candidate out when they walk into the room?
Believe me, the first thing, I must say what the new applicant needs to factor in. Maybe I should start from there, so that by the time the new, you can see my screen? Just before we get to know what I look for. Yeah. Let me know if you can see screen. Yes, this is usually my starting point as a recruiter. I have to look at your CV to be able to know who you are, what you've been doing, and to see what achievements do you have. So what I would encourage the current ongoing students and the ones who just graduated, ensure your CV is selling. And when I'm selling is that ensure you've put in all your achievements. Have you been taking any leadership positions? Ensure they are quite outstanding there. The layout is clear, don't cram it, 2 to 3 pages. And the reason why I say it's short and sweet, at your level, you've not really gained so much experience. So I would look at maybe you volunteered in various assignments, you maybe been clubs. So that's what I need to see at this point of time when you're applying for the graduate positions. Then your cover letter. How did you learn about these opportunities? What are your skills? Have you completed your degree? What were you awarded? Just make it outstanding. For instance, I learned it through the EY website that is on this day. I was awarded a first class honors. I've also undertaken a Master of Science in Human Resource. These are the skills I've gained being present in a JQuat. I've been able to present in various forums. So that cover letter should be catchy so that as a recruiter, I'll say, this is the person I want. Okay. So from there, I hope I've answered you. That's my starting as a recruiter. Just before I go for the
and in relation to the CV, does other courses such as CPA, CIFA, how much impact do they put into your CV?
Yes, they have a significant impact because when you look at most of the adverts, you'll find we've put the academic and the professional qualification. So in the event you've undertaken that, it gives you a milestone. Are the academic and the professional certificates that you've undertaken. Remember, you are selling yourself.
Yeah. Okay. And does the organization support further courses such as masters? If one of the employees wants to pursue a master's in their course, does the organization support them financially?
How I would look at it is maybe we look at it in terms of time. The reason being, the number of employees that we have, we might not really fully be able to support that. However, we support on need basis if the leadership is able to approve that. But we have so many other courses. Like right now, we have an MBA, which is free to the employees. We've partnered with Halt University. So the over to you.
Thank you. And wait, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. No, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can I go on to the next question? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, in line with the interview, I had asked about the physical interview, how I think don't factor in some of the things that you look for during the physical interview. So I'd want you to point some factors that when we are going for a physical interview that we should make sure that we do or we don't forget.
Okay, you can see my presentation still. Hello.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so starting point, once you've been invited, and just allow me to emphasize some of the lessons that I've learned in terms when I'm interacting with the applicant. You find someone has applied and thereafter they forgot that they applied for that particular job. I would request that we keep checking on our emails, the calls that have been made, and phone and email. So once we call you for the interview, which in the recent past it has been virtual, you find you need to be prepared. And when I talk of prepared is in terms of get understanding about who Ernst & Young are, what services do we offer, just have that background information. Ensure you're also presentable. Don't assume that because it's a virtual remote working world that you dress down. I saw that some time back, and you find someone has reluctantly dressed up. It really affects your interview. So dress up, and as they say, first impression matters. And then how you conduct yourself. Are you able to present and confidently answer the questions that have been answered? And you find in most of the cases, it's technical. They might just be general questions, but how you express yourself, the confidence level, it matters a lot. So interpersonal skills really matters. And then the other thing is it's about doing a background check. That is quite critical. I've experienced whereby you ask an applicant, tell us about Ernst & Young, who are they, what do they offer? And the person has no idea to joining Ernst & Young. So do that background check. Ensure you also have your own personal goals, because that's also a question that will be asked. What are you looking forward to? Because other than just joining Ernst & Young and helping the organization achieve its own strategic objectives, you also have a personal goals. Have that 2 to 3 years, that is short and long term. Do you have that? What are you looking forward to? Do you have an understanding? And Young, having those key service lines that you have, do you know about it? It's about strategy and transaction, like now where what they offer, if it's assurance, what are sub-service lines that you offer? So just have that background and where you're looking forward to. So that's a brief of what I would look for as a recruiter. Over to you, Sharon.
Okay, thank you, Lilian. And I'd want to ask about the future companies taking that we as campus students and candidates, we can make sure we align ourselves to be able to place ourselves into your organization?
I would relate that to some of these strategies that the students need to pick from today's session. I'll just put an analysis. You'll find this job market, you need someone will ask as an ongoing student, how will I gain that work experience? This will be from the volunteer work that you get involved in. You have the long holidays. What do you normally do? You have that small, maybe entrepreneur business that you're running. Are you supporting a certain organization? Maybe you're doing a BCom, whatever skills you're learning there. Are you supporting, for instance, a certain society for basis? That's how you're also gaining your experience. Then enhance your education. Mostly you find a student who just want to concentrate with what you're doing in the ensure you also double up with the professional certificate. For instance, the ones who are doing the accounting background, start your ACCA, start your CPAs early, that by the time you're clearing, you've already also done the professional paper. The network, that one has been emphasized by my colleagues. Start building your network. And I must say, thank you very much for the 25 participants who are in today. You are the right place. You're building your network effective today. Believe me, by tomorrow, when you're asked, who do you know at Ernst & Young? I know Marceline, I know Emmanuel, I know Ngunjiri. You've started building your network. And build a very professional online profile. Get to LinkedIn, update your profile. Do you have any leadership skills you have, or other skills that you have that would be able to market yourself? So basically, this is what you'll be looking forward to as at EY.
Okay, thank you, Lilian. And as we're almost done, is there anything else you'd like to say before you give a parting shot?
Yes, that have been asked, especially on what we look forward to. And just allow me just to highlight on a very high level. Okay. For the graduates, these are the grades that we look for. And somebody like Ngunjiri was following the STEM student. So the question of why do you have someone who has done construction coming on board? So we try to have diverse skills. Our clients are a better platform in terms of our delivery of the assignment. So these are the minimum requirements that we need. And I remember Marceline, her parting shot saying that ensure give it your best and you get the best grade. So you can see the grade you look forward to having on board. And I believe most of the students are able to achieve this. Then in terms of the professional papers, you'll find different field of study have different professional papers at an early stage, so that by the time you're clearing, you have hand in hand both academic and professional papers. And then for the experience hire, this is slightly different because we look at maybe close to 2+ years. And then another advantage in the event that you have your master's degree. Okay. So most of our recruitment adverts are sitting on our recruitment platform, which had been currently we are having 2 positions that we have advertised for the senior manager. Maybe you can share it out for people who are able to have that experience 7 years, but mostly we recruit online. Everything is online. You apply online, and the recruitment process also is online. And then the selection process, this is done or based on the qualifications and the skills, and this is normally aligned to that. And for the graduate, we have the 4 stages in terms of the interviews, which are usually a walk in the park. I'm from Ngunjiri and Agatha, they experienced it. It was quite easy for them to go through. So those are the stages. that the interview process goes through. Over to you. Will I have any other question in terms of recruitment and selection?
Thank you, Lilian, for that. And I'd like to ask you, what is that one top technical skill that you think every candidate should learn and should gain?
It's not one. I'll just say maybe interpersonal skills, other than the academic and the professional, personal skills are becoming critical in today's of work. Because you'll find sometimes you're very good, maybe we even call that first class, but you don't have the confidence. Remember, my colleague have mentioned, they're always going for presentations. So if you don't have that skill, you'll find you're always being left out, you're not able to get along, and especially in Ernst & Young, where presentation skills are required, teaming is required, resilience because of the high. So interpersonal skills comes handy in addition to your professional and academic background.
Okay, thank you so much, Lilian, for all that insight. And I think if anyone else would like to talk to you, they can link with you through LinkedIn.
Yes.
And also, okay. Also, it will be nice to get your slides. They're very informative. I think every one of us has someone who they can send them to. I'm sure it will help a lot of people. And I'd like to ask you one last question before we finish. You had asked in the chat about what is one's purpose. Would you mind to share with us what is your purpose?
My purpose is more aligned to EY purpose, where it's building a better working world. And this is relating to, other than myself having a better me, and ensuring that my personal goals are being achieved as I do my day-to-day work. How am I able to relate with others? So the better us, how am I able to team up with my colleagues who I work with? And also building the better working world in terms of the society. How am I being able to relate to the society? Am I being involved in the various corporate social responsibilities? For instance, Ernst & Young has a social responsibility club. Am I involved? We have EY Repo. Am I being able to give back to the society in terms of my skills? For instance, for last year but one, I was involved in several, close to 5 schools in the slums. I was able to go there, train them on various skills, talk to those students who need hope, get life skills. So my purpose is aligned to Ernst & Young global purpose is building the better work, which is holistic. It's about me, getting a better myself, better us. I relate to my colleagues that I work with, and the better working world in terms of the society and also the clients that I relate with. And my clients currently are internal, who are staff. How do I relate to them? Am I able to deliver or meet their expectation? So that's my purpose.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lilian. We're honored to have you in this session. And I'd like to pass it on back to Jeremy.
Thank you very much, Gitishe. That was a very well run session. We apologize for extending our time quite a bit, but I think it was worthwhile.
Sorry, Jeremy, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So again, I was saying thank you very much, Caroline, for the session. It was very well run. As I close the session, I'd like to ask people to please turn on your videos so that we can take a photo on our way out. But overall, a huge thanks goes over to the whole EY team led by Lilian, who really was very, very, she was very, very thorough in making sure that the team committed to this and prepared for this. She called me, I think it was yesterday, either yesterday or Thursday, and told me she was having a meeting with all the other presenters of today. And I was very honored because in previous times, you know, it's usually, I don't think we've had people giving us this level of attention and being this deliberate in terms of what they're going to present to us. So I am deeply honored. I've seen some people are still turning on their photos, their videos. Before we go, I'd like to ask, there's a question. This is to Lilian. Does EY offer undergraduate internships? Can one join as an intern, maybe on their long holiday? And would that also, if yes, would that be an advantage when applying to the graduate roles? Lilian?
Sorry, Jerome, breaking.
Oh, sorry. My question to Lilian. Can you hear me? Maybe let me turn off my video. So it's a bit. My question was, does EY have any undergraduate internship opportunities for students who are yet to complete their degree?
Yes, we normally offer internship, and we advertise for that. And it's on need basis. When I talk of need basis, is because we don't just pick intern to come and do maybe clerical work. No, we'll pick an intern and assign them to the field of, for instance, maybe someone who is doing maybe economics or whatever, that in that field, we'll assign them that particular department so that they are able to gain, and yes, we tweak interns.
Okay. Sawa. Thank you. Another, just to put you on the spot one last time, will EY be opening their graduate recruitment anytime soon, so that we keep our eyes open?
Oh yes, yes. Start checking out from around an advert, June, July, there, but just start checking from June. An advert is coming up for the graduates. And I must emphasize, please ensure once you apply, you have your phone, give us alternative number, keep checking your email, and when answering your phone, please ensure you're professional. I keep getting very funny response on phone when I call, and emails as well.
All right. Okay. So I think that's it from us. If there are any questions you have after this, kindly, I will send a form to you all who have attended today that you can fill, but also you can just email me on the email that we've sent out the invites with. And as we close, I'd like to ask again, Caroline, Abna, Stephanie, Gladys, all of you people who had turned on your videos, Benson, Collins, kindly let's turn on our videos. You take a photo on our way out. Oh, Lilian, is there something you'd like to say? I've seen you raised your hand.
Yes, yes. I just, we encourage all students, even the STEM students, to apply, and especially for the upcoming graduate advert that is going to be, I'm going to put across. So ensure every apply, we don't discriminate in terms of, we only look for the arts or particular fields. We encourage everybody, even the STEM students, to apply.
Okay, fantastic. All right. I think that's enough. I'm waiting for maybe one more person to turn on their video. Awesome. All right. Say avocado. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending this session. We are very thankful also to the audience who made time on a Saturday to come for a session like this and just improve themselves in whatever way they can. Thank you again to the EY team, to Lilian for being very, very, very thorough in preparing this session, to Raphael for being our first point of contact, to Agatha, Emmanuel, and Marceline, I think who's still here, or she's, yes, she's still here. You people have all given us very, very deep and profound learnings that we hopefully can use as we try to become like you in the next couple of years. And at this juncture, I'd like to urge you, reach out to these people. the fact that you've met them on this space means that you can extend your relationship outside this, and hopefully you will get what you're looking for. So have a good weekend ahead. Have a great Easter weekend in the next weekend, and we hope to see you in a better working world. Is it better working world? Yes. So goodbye, everyone. See you later.
Building a better working.
Yeah, building a better working world. That's my slogan for this coming week. So thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.